pass it a bit. Thanks everyone for coming along for the big show we got at Yorkhall on the 24th of February. Thought it important. We've got a couple of big title fights on, so good to chat to the lads and ladies before the show. We'll start off, crack straight into it. Nice to have you here, Spencer, as well. I know you're keen to speak to some of the lads and IDs as well about their future. A couple of belts on the line I've mentioned, and I think the best place to start off is probably with the Southern Area lightweight title that we got Peacock Boy Louis O'Doherty, as I keep getting told. I think I got that right, mate, against Marley Mason down here on my left, so great to have you two here. Collision course, this one, I've been trying to match this for these two to fight each other without a belt on the line, probably since they were 1-0 each. Everyone was like, calm down, John, Gareth's nodding over there. We finally got it and we're pleased to have it on. So we'll start off with you, Louis. What's your thoughts? What can we expect from you on the night? How's training going?
Yeah, training's good, and just expect me to do what I've done with every fight, just box nice and clean.
And then a few words as usual. What can we expect from you?
To box, just box, that's it.
Just going to go in quiet, confident as usual, yeah? I'm going to bring in Marley over here. How you doing, mate? Good, good. Here. Well, I'll pass you.
Is that right? Oh, sweet as. Yeah, I feel good. I feel really strong. I mean, all dirty. No, I feel really good. Feel ready to punch his head in, really. And, you know, if he wants to come for a war, let's get it on. That's all I've got to say.
I thought I was expecting more from you, Marley, to be fair. I talked to you about this a few fights back. I have to be honest, it is a 50-50 fight. Each fight, one time I think you're going to win, the next time I probably think that Louis is going to win. What makes you think that you've got the tools to go and do the job against Louis on the night?
Because obviously last time, I fought Jeff Afori about 4 weeks, and my head wasn't in it really before and after the fight, but there's no excuses. I mean, there was a massive fight that broke out as well during the day, so, you know, 1 minute the fight was on, 1 minute the fight was off. But we got in there, we smashed the shit out of each other, and we both went home with a draw, but it made me better mentally now, so not only are you going to see the reckless Marley side of things, but you're going to see more intelligent side of me. So, Louis, you got me on my best, you know, performance. So, be careful, mate.
Do you think the fight with Jeff has given you a bit more experience than maybe Louis got, Marley? Because I know a few people I've spoken to, Louis done brilliant at 5-0 now and looked really impressive, but he hasn't fought anyone of the calibre of Jeff, which clearly you have. No,
he hasn't fought anyone really, except for Dos Santos, and I thought Dos Santos won that fight. Got you tired, mate. I mean, you done 4 rounds with him, I done 4 rounds with him, I breezed it. I mean, he done 4 rounds with him, he was fucked. So, you know, like it just says it all. He's only got 4 good rounds in him. If he don't knock me out in 4, then I'll take over. It's simple as that. Because the longer the rounds go, the more stronger I get. It's been proven.
Fair enough. Fighting words. Do you want to add anything to that, Louis, or are you just going to be quiet as usual?
I just want to see the intelligent side of him. That's it. The intelligent side. Interesting.
Sounds like Marley's not that intelligent, but I'm sure it makes up for a good fight on 24th. What's your thoughts, Spencer?
So, good luck, boys, both of you. By the way, this is a huge springboard. You know, the Southern Area title is it's a historic title, but it also opens up huge opportunity. You know, going back to my own career, winning the Southern Area title in a barnstormer, because that's what the Southern Area title does. It's like it brings the best out in a fight. You know, that this is the springboard to bigger stuff. You win the Southern Area, you can go on, win British, Europeans, whatever. So I went into a European title fight off the back of winning the Southern Area title. But that's what it done for me. Sort of just changed my career, changed my path, my avenue, but most importantly, give me opportunity. And I think that, you know, both of you guys are going in here and I'm listening to you both and the back and forth, that's expected. that's what we are expecting. You know, I'm looking at you, Louis, and you're 5-0, Marley. You only had that one draw. But let me just ask you, what you got from that draw? What did that do to you, as in mentally? You know, did it make you want to drive on more? It's obviously you've got this opportunity now over 10 rounds, but what did that draw do to you mentally?
I mean, when I got the draw, obviously, I took a few minutes in changing room. Obviously, yeah, I was a bit disappointed in it, but you know what? Fuck it, innit? Like, we go again, so I've got nothing to lose. Louis, if anything, I'm the underdog in this fight, and I fucking love it. You know, because I cannot wait to prove people wrong yet again and show people what I'm truly about. You know, you see my fights, but you know what you're going to expect. So, you know, like, you're going to expect the best Marley Mason ever, and I'm going to chuck a pack of Jaffa cakes on your fat head.
So listen, like I said to you boys, like Southern Area is the springboard and opens up opportunities for other titles, bigger titles, and where you're doing it right now, you know, on these promotions, like the small hall stuff, and I know where your dreams and your aspirations are to, you know, head to, you know, get onto these big TV platforms and win the big world titles, etc., but it all starts here, Louis. Do you understand that this is like probably the most important time of your career, because this is where it molds you as a fighter, develops you as a fighter. Now, Marley's been there, he's been in that draw, so he knows how tough it is, he knows how to get down in the trenches, and that sort of prepared him for this fight, putting him in this fight. You're undefeated going in here, and you prepared to go to a place over 10 rounds, because, you know, like, you both run 6 miles a morning, you both do your 10 rounds, 12 rounds sparring, you both do your gym work, etc. But when you get into the penultimate rounds, like 8, 9, 10, the physicalities go out of it, it becomes a mental battle, and you've got to be prepared to go there. Do you feel that, you know, with the fights that you've had so far, that's put you in a good place, and you're prepared to go to a place that a normal person wouldn't go to?
Yeah, I think I'm ready to do 10 rounds, no problem. Obviously in the amateurs you fight every day. If you get through the competition, if you get through the Haringey all 3 days, then you fight obviously 9 rounds over that time, just with higher intensity. Obviously I think I test myself every day, mentally and physically anyway, if I've got a training or whatever I'm doing, so I'm fully prepared to push the barrier mentally and physically.
And you recognise what opportunity this is, because like I say to you, it's a Southern Area title, lovely belt there, much better than when I won it, by the way. When I won it was a lot worse than that. So they've improved. The Southern Area is that springboard for other opportunities, other titles, because you don't hang around at this level for long. Like I say to you, you get rankings off the back of that, and then, you know, winning that gives you opportunity for the British, Commonwealth, and like I say, international titles, European titles. So this fight possibly the most important fight, and probably be one of the most important fights in your career right now, and you have to be ready for that.
Yeah, I train for every fight as if it's the hardest fight, regardless of who's in front of me or what it's for. I train every day like it's the hardest day I have to train, so I'm ready.
And Marley, just back to you quickly. Louis there, he's undefeated, he doesn't want to lose that undefeated record. Talk to me, when you get into round 8 and you're into round 9 and he's still there, he's still in your face and he's still pushing, how do you get through that?
I'm just going to trade with him. I don't give a shit. Like, I'm just going to be there. He's going to be there. Let's see who fucking takes one another out, you know? Like, it's a shootout. Let's have a shootout. That's all I've got to say.
Brilliant. So like I say, it's a huge opportunity for both of you, and credit to Mo, Brian, Martin for giving you that opportunity. You're both in really good hands, and it's what you do with that opportunity. And this is the beginning of what could be a brilliant journey for both of you. So best of luck to both of you.
Thanks guys, just want to add on that, I think both of these fellas are probably better than Southern Area, so whoever loses on the night is still going to go a long way, and if you haven't got your tickets yet, I think that one on its own probably worth coming down at your call. Moving on to the next Southern Area title fight we got, it's for the super featherweight, rearranged between Robert Caswell and Michael Weatherpane. Hello Michael, you alright?
Yeah, I'm all good. Feel amazing, excited. Just want to get it on.
Well, it's good to have you here. As you can notice, Robert isn't here today. Had some scheduling stuff that he couldn't make it today. I know that you've probably heard something else. What are your thoughts on him not being here today?
It is what it is. If he's got stuff to do, he's got stuff to do. But I'm a professional. I remain professional, and you got to do these kind of things. And it's good experience for when you get onto the bigger stages, with the bigger conferences. You know, it's all learning.
Quality, mate. I'm going to bring Spencer in now because he's clearly better at talking than me, mate. But over to you, Spence.
Yeah, Michael, again, like I said to the boys just now about the Southern Area title and the importance of that. You know, you've had a little longer to develop as a professional, 11-0 now. So you feel that your time is now, and it is that opportunity, because, like I say, when you've had that amount of belts under your wing, that sort of prepares you and puts you in that place, and you're prepared. Like I said to the boys, you're prepared to go to where you need to go to come out victorious.
Yeah, exactly that. I've been sparring 8-10 rounds for weeks now. I believe, as a boxer, I get better as the fight goes on. As much as I've done the 4s and the 6s, I think I'm a 10-12 round fighter. I start easing into it, get my flow around the halfway mark, and then that's when it's going to go into deep waters, and I'm ready to go there. It's just if he is.
Absolutely. Listen, he's 8-0 as well, so someone's always got to go, and that always makes for a special fight. In the Southern Area, there's something magical about the Southern Area title that brings out the best in fighters. You know, like I say to you, when you look through the history of boxing and you look at Southern Area title fights and British title fights, if you go through the history of the sport, that's where the best fights are sat. That's where the fights that, unfortunately for the casual boxing fan, a lot of them don't see the fights like the fight that you're going to go into with another undefeated fighter putting it all on the line. And because you don't want to lose that O, like, you take yourself to a place that no normal human being would go to because of that reason, and what you're trying to, you know, what you've been training for as a kid to try and achieve. You want to get on the big platforms, Sky Sports, BT, DAZN, all that, but you have to come through these fights, obviously, to keep those dreams alive. Unfortunately for the casual fan, they don't see the fights that you're going to go into there, you know, on the 24th, and it's going to be one of those fights that you both know what's on the line. You both recognise what the winner gets, and it's all about opportunity, right?
Exactly that. I know Robert's known Mark. He's had a good amateur pedigree, and he is a good fighter. But I work hard in and out of the gym. I'm ready to go in there, put whatever it takes on the line to come out with that win. As you said, it creates opportunities. But for me, this is my world title fight at the moment. You know, this is the only thing that's on my mind. What happens after will happen, but I have to get through this one first, and I've got to win it, so I'm doing everything that I can, so there's no excuses on that night that I win.
You know, you get to those penultimate rounds, like I said to the boys, and it does become a mental battle as opposed to a physical battle. That's what the advice I'm giving you now is, just to say, take this on board. I've been there, seen it, done it, got that t-shirt, and it does, you're going to feel sorry for yourself. If it's a real tough fight, you feel sorry for yourself, and you look up and you see round 7, you think, fuck, still got rounds to go. Like, but it becomes a mental battle, and it's about, if you've trained as hard as you have and you've left no stone unturned, you've cut no corners, you've done every run, you've trained, done every gym session, you've done all your strength and conditioning, you've done all your sparring, then you feel tired in the fight and you're feeling sorry for yourself all the time. But how do you feel? Even if he's not showing it inside, he's just better disguising it than you. And I think the advice that I want to give you, because your opponent's not here, so I can't give you that advice. I don't have to be neutral. The advice that I want to pass on to you is that if you feel fucked and you train as hard as you are, because it is the opportunity and this is the springboard for the rest of your career, you feel tired, he's got to be tired. He hits you with 3 shots, you've got to hit him with 4 shots, because a human body can only get certain fitness, and then it becomes the power of the mind. Do you understand that? And that's where fights are won and lost, and that's the difference between champions and challengers. The challenger has not got that mindset. Do you know what I'm saying? They do nothing differently. You just look through the history of some of the top fighters. Cole Fletcher was an unbelievable fighter, and you look at him, technically, he was not particularly good, but mentally he was so strong, it took him to that place. Do you understand? That will to win and never give up. Even if you're down six rounds out of 6 in a 10-rounder, you've got 4 rounds to go. Do you understand? Like, when you get into round 12 of a 12-rounder and you're 11 rounds down, you've still got opportunity. So you still got to have hope, and you still got to push on. just want to give you some of that advice of moving forward in your career, that don't ever give up hope if you're 3 rounds to 1 down at the beginning of a fight and it's not going your way and you've opened up a cut or whatever, because there's always opportunity, and that opportunity until that final bell rings is always there.
Cheers, thank you, I appreciate that advice, and we all know it's boxing, 1 punch is all it takes, so as long as we're in that round, I'm going to be punching, you know, all it takes is that 1 to land and that could be over. I don't care if I'm down every single round in that fight, I'm going to be standing there punching.
Well done, Michael. Some great advice there for you to take on board as well, which I'm sure will be really valuable come fight night. We know Rob's going to be there, he's going to turn up and put on a great performance, and gutted he's not here. I also want to just say well done to you, because obviously originally, I don't know if Spencer's aware, but it initially fell through because of an injury to Rob at the back end of last year, which is clearly frustrating for you and your team. You've gone for a camp, you've sold your tickets, you've booked tickets galore and coaches for Norwich. So thank you for that. You sat, I think we had a little tune up around Christmas time and now you're ready to go. So another reason to come along and watch the show. So good luck to you there. Right, well done. We have got another really good 50-50 fight on the night, but Alfie Winter and Jay Kentley aren't here today, so we'll make sure we'll pick up with them at a later date. But a good fight there, and hopefully something on that at some stage. Probably come down to you now, Joel. So I'm starting to feel that a few of you on this table, I might as well manage it and take a cut that your managers are getting, because you're always on my shows. I love it. So it's delightful to have you back, mate. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. It's great to be up here today, and I'm looking forward to getting there again.
Good, mate. Look, it's 4-0, 3 knockouts. The matchmaker's here somewhere. He's over there. You're like a nightmare for us to matchmake, but I tell him it's what he gets paid for. So, for Spencer, I think you know he comes out to Tibbsy's gym. Everybody's fearing him. No one wants to fight him. And it's because what you see is what you get. He's excellent.
Absolutely. Listen, it's great to be in that position where you are there, and you know you just got to. So I suppose my advice to you would be just to keep your feet firmly on the ground, because you will, you know, when you're developing as a fighter and you get into that level and people say, yeah, you're going to be a champion, it's not a matter of if he's going to be a champion, it's a matter of when he's going to be a champion. But trust me, as all these people here, like Martin Bowser, I've known for many, many, many years, has seen over the years as well, so you always come up against them people that you're expected to win against. You go in there and he might be 1-8 lost 8 or whatever, but styles make fights, and sometimes people can be tricky, and all of a sudden you find yourself in deep water, or you might get clipped. You know, you go through the history of the sport where you've seen champions go down like early in their careers against journeymen, you get clipped, and that sort of develops you as a fighter and takes you to where you need to go. But I suppose my advice would be to you that if that happens along the road, and it could well possibly do that, because like I say, it's styles, and you know what it's like, no head guards, small gloves, hands wrapped up tight, it only takes one, doesn't matter who you are, boom, and you go there. It's all about staying calm, pulling yourself together, just not panicking, because making those fundamental mistakes when that happens does cost you, do you know what I'm saying? But yeah, the best advice for you would be, with the height that's around you and everything else, and what's expected from you, is to just keep yourself firmly on the ground and train like you're the challenger, not that you're the kid, you're the champion. Always train like a challenger as opposed to a champion, because that will bring the best out of you. Do you know what I'm saying? So yeah, just keep going, doing what you're doing, and as I said to the other guys, like, you know, it's all about leaving no stone unturned. Don't think that talent is going to take you to the top, because it's not the talented fighters that get to the top in this business. If you're talented and you graft like a guy that's not talented, that's when you become a superstar. That's when you get the superstars of the sport. But if you're not, like 9 out of 10 of the top fighters that make it, and not the talented ones, because the talented ones think they can cut corners because they've got talent, or because they can knock someone out. Well, what happens when you're still there in round 12? And I told you, it becomes a mental battle, and you thinking to yourself, I should take them out now, so doubts start creeping in. And that's the difference between winning and losing. So I suppose, yeah, you have to, in the position that you're in, train like you are the challenger for anything, and just be prepared for everything. Keep your feet firmly on the floor. And I think that that's probably the best advice that I can give you at this stage. And yeah, best of luck in the future. Best of luck in your career.
Considering how heavy-handed you are, I can't believe you can't even switch that on, mate.
Yeah, I'm sweating my nuts off. Yeah, thank you for that. I'm always training like the challenger. Like today, before I've done this, I've done 8 rounds sparring in this boiling gym. You know, I'm always running, doing my cardio, always doing my strength. I'm always on it at least 2 to 3 sessions a day, and I've got great ring IQ, so if anything ever happened, you know, I can adapt, I can change, I can box well. As you've seen, 4-0 3 KOs, so I can bang, I can box, I can think on my feet, so I'm sure anything that happens, I'll be ready for it, and I've got that mental attitude to get through it.
Yeah, I suppose, like, the way that you've got to train and the way that you've got to think through your whole career is don't ever think that you've arrived, you've made it, this is it. Do you know what I mean? If you go win the Southern Area title, you win the British, the Commonwealth, the European, even the world titles, and you get there and you go, this is it. Always strive for more, always look to push for more, look for greatness, because when a fighter thinks that they've made it and that's it, that's when things start undoing, that's when things start unraveling, that's when you don't get out of your bed at 6 in the morning, you don't go for that run, you decide to miss that training session because you think you're good enough, and there, I've made it now. But always, like I say to you, like that's not the attitude to have. Like when you reach those heights, always strive for more, and that will carry you through your career.
Yeah, thank you for that. I'm always striving for more, you know, I haven't got my eyes set on a British title, I haven't got them set on a European, not a world. I want one of those Hall of Fame rings, so we've got to keep winning titles and keep pushing forwards. You don't stop when you get there.
Well said, Joe. I mean, you've had 4, as I said, it's on for your 5th fight, and hopefully for another knockout for you, mate, and I'm sure all those titles will come your way with Joe. Bye, mate. We'll move on to the man down here on my right, Bluey Muldowney. So I've got some of the best ticket sellers in the whole south of the country for this show, so I'm really excited about it. I'm sure 1 or 2 other people will want to argue with you now, Louis, but you probably sell more than anyone, so you're a dream for me. But it's not just that, Matt. I think you probably did 250, 300 plus on your debut. You did about the same amount on the second show, and you requested even more for this one, so I look forward to seeing you the day before for sure. What can we come to expect from you? Because again, you're proving a little bit hard for the matchmaker and item match at the moment, because you've got a nice knockout on the last one and you're 2-0. What can we expect?
Listen, you can expect a good dominant performance. I'm looking forward to getting out there, working on things I've been working on in the gym. I've been working hard, like Joel said, I train 2 times a day, 6 days a week, so training my absolute bollocks off. But yeah, listen, hopefully go in there and get another knockout.
Louis, I want to ask you a question, mate. What makes you so popular? How do you sell the tickets that you sell? What is it? What is it about you? And there's a reason for me asking this question. I want to hear your answer to that first. Why do you sell so many tickets?
I think it's the lucky ginger ale, to be honest with you. I sell a lot of tickets though. I've got a lot of good family and friends around me. And sort of everyone spreads the word, you know what I mean? Where we live, everyone sort of looks after each other. So yeah, it's lucky really, to be honest with you. Lucky.
So, when I was boxing, many years ago, it was all about how good you was in there. And that's what sort of got you over the line, and that's what sold tickets, because people come to watch you because how good you are in there. The world has changed massively, as you know. It doesn't matter if you, sometimes it's more about what you can do out here, your social media presence, the tickets you can sell, and if you've got that, then they go, what's he like in the ring then? Is he any good? And if he's good in the ring, then he becomes a star, because he can fight and he's got that. But it's difficult to have both of those, do you know what I'm saying? Like a big social media presence and aura about you. You seem to have that anyway. I can feel the energy from that anyway. And you obviously are charismatic because you sell the tickets you sell. You don't do that unless you've got a big personality. So, yeah, it'd be interesting to follow your career and see what you're like in the ring. I hear big things about you. 2-0 and a big knockout in your last one. So yeah, it'd be interesting. But again, that advice would be, you know, just keep yourself, your feet grounded, and just be you. And you've got a big personality because of the following that you've got. Keep working on that. Put yourself out there. Work on your social media, because that is important these days. Where that didn't mean anything before. It was all about the talent. Now it's not. So if you've got that talent and you've got the presence, you sell the tickets anyway. Keep pushing yourself out there, and opportunities will come. But remember that, guys, to the other guys, you know, boxing, professional boxing is like a fucking roller coaster. You have your ups, you have your downs, and you go through fights that you're meant to go through, and they become tough fights. And there's a war of nutrition in there. You've got to dig in, you've got to ask yourself questions. Then you come out of the fight, even if you've won it, and go, am I good enough really? I'm just like, you know what I mean? I've just been pushed all the way by this guy. That develops you as a fighter. It's all part of the development, and you're all striving to get to, you know, this level, the Southern Area title level, or beyond that. But what I'm saying is that the rocky road and the rocky journey and the roller coaster that you had before that, puts you instead for that. So just be mentally prepared for that and never get yourself down if you've got to pick yourself off the floor against a guy that weren't particularly good, or you go, you get this and people start judging. You remember, feed off that. Champions feed off. If people are talking about you, it's a good thing, whether it's good or bad. Even if it's bad and they're saying stuff, you go, well, they're talking about me for a reason. If they stop talking about me, then I've got a problem. Do you understand? But when they talk about you bad, and it will happen in your career, by the way, 'cause it doesn't matter if you're a pound-for-pound star. People do. You got the geezer sitting in his armchair, smoking a bag, drinking a beer, going, eat shit. You go, really? And you can judge me on that. But what I'm saying is, you get that criticism, because that's what social media is all about. Feed off that, as opposed to taking it as a negative.
Listen, that's what I do anyway. Everyone up here is a boxer themselves, and listen, they know it's a hard sport. There's always going to be ups and downs. Training's hard. You have bad spars, you have good spars. But listen, as long as you keep going, training hard, and listen, I believe I train harder than anyone else. So, yeah, listen, I do believe I'll get to the top sooner or later.
What's the journey? What's the journey for you? Like, where do you see yourself going? I mean, what's the dream? Do you know what I mean? Some fighters, you speak to a fighter, and they go, I want to win a British title. If I win a British title, I've achieved, and anything over that, if I get a European, and wow, I've exceeded everything I want to do. Where do you want to go?
Listen, if I'm being brutally honest, I'd like to come out of the sport a multi-millionaire. I think everyone does as well. But yeah, listen, I'd like to pick up a few titles on the way, hopefully win a world title. But listen, I do believe if I train hard, keep training now, I'm training now, there's no reason I can't get to the top as long as I keep going. It's when you stop and give up, obviously you definitely ain't going to get there. But yeah, I do believe I'll pick up a few titles, maybe a southern area, maybe next year or the year after, go for one of them youth titles, youth world titles, when the time's right. And then yeah, just keep picking up from there, keep going forward.
Best of luck, mate. I hope it all goes well for you. I like your character, by the way, as well.
And he is a great fighter as well as a big ticket seller, fair play. And your thanks to the career is excellent. And we chuffed to have you back. One big ticket seller to another. Hello, Rob. You're part of Furniture, mate. I think we've had 5 fights now, all 5 on the TM14 show, so welcome back. How you doing?
Yeah, all good, mate. Yeah, all good. Obviously, you know, there was this fight. I mean, it's like the boy said, it's mandatory, and you've got to train twice a day. You know, if you're a pro boxer, it's mandatory. So, obviously, I've had a bit. This is my step-up fight. I'm aspiring good names, you know, and again, obviously, I know myself. When I fight, I'm bounce and move. So obviously, when the trainer Brad said to me, you know, when it goes to big fights, you need to be able to bounce around all the time. You've got to stay on your feet and you've got to fight. So obviously, I've been inspiring like good people, strong, different fight styles, and that's how I've been bringing myself on. So I've been enjoying it, especially this one. You know, if they've got fights, always your key. So I'm enjoying it.
Rob, where do you see yourself going, mate? Like, where do you know what is your dream? Where do you see yourself? Obviously, this is at the beginning, and you know, with the guys and the shows they're putting on, it's the grassroots of the sport. And without these guys, if you think of the foundations of a house, if the foundations ain't built, the house falls down, right? So what I'm saying is, the sport of boxing, it relies on these shows happening to develop the fighters, to take them to another level, to, you know, so they get on those big cards and get those world title fights and whatnot. Where do you see yourself? Like, you know, you're committed there, you're unbeaten as a professional right now, but what's the journey for Rob? Where's he going? Well, I mean, give me a roadmap over the next 18 months.
Listen, it's 18 months, you know. I mean, I started boxing as a 4-year-old, and 40, 50 amateur fights, you know, all in. I then turned pro just to come here, a few fights, and we look good, get loads of social media followers, and I want to come here, like I said, he wants to be a millionaire. We ain't here getting our face punched in just to get a couple grand at the time, you know. We want to, you know, make loads of money, you know, live the best life, you know, get people like your kids look up to us and that, you know. That's what we're here for. All I see, boys, we're all on the same mission, you know. And nothing's ever personal, it's all business. That's what it's about, you know. And this is the art of sport, you know. This is what I love about sport. It's not money for all the time. You've got to enjoy it, you know. And that's what, you know, ticket sales. Obviously, I've got a big family, you know. Ticket sales are always going to be there. They ain't just always friends all the time. It's just consistent family members, you know. And that's what I enjoy about this sport, you know. All these boys here, you know, taking, you know, risking undefeated records, and it's lovely to see. I want to do it one day, you know. And that's what I enjoy about it.
And you know, like you talk about, there's a lot made of undefeated records. And there's a lot, you know, the fighters think, oh, I can't lose my O, I can lose my O, you know, where am I going, etc., etc. But sometimes a loss is the making of a fighter, is how a fighter comes back from that loss. And that develops them and moulds them into, I spoke to some great fighters, Jim McKenzie was one, I can give you an example. So when he went over and boxed over in France, for the European title. It was a fight that he lost. But he said it moulded him as a fighter, and he went on to win world titles in 3 different weights because of the loss. He said it developed him mentally, physically, and it made him like strive to want more. Do you know what I'm saying? So don't be too scared to lose that O is what I'm probably saying to you, because it will just develop you as a person. If you take that as a positive and go, you know what, I'm going to go back to the drawing board, I'm going to go back to the gym, I'm going to fucking work harder, I'm going to work on this, work on what you went wrong. It will develop you more as a fighter. But I think that you talking there, listening to you talking there about, yeah, I just want to put power notes, and that's what it is called, prize fighting. And it's about earning money and securing your family's futures, etc., etc. But if you're earning money, you must be winning titles, because otherwise there's no money there. Because as all you guys recognise, every single one on this top table, you're all fighting, and it's for virtually anything. Like if you think about the work you put into what you get out in the pavements, you can earn more money being a fucking labourer on a building site, but it's not about that, because this is about, you've got to look at the big picture. This is the development to where you want to go to. Do you know what I mean? But every fighter has to go through that. We've all been there, we've all done it, where you're fighting for nothing virtually, and you just think, sometimes when you've had a big hard fight, you lie in bed next day and you can't move anything from up here down to your toes, and you're bruised to fuck, and you think, really? What is all this about? It's about the long-term picture. You always look at that, and like I said to the boys, it's a roller coaster. You have your ups and you have your downs, but losing your own doesn't mean that that dream's over. It just means that it will develop you more as a fighter and as a person. Just remember that moving forward, because the likelihood is you will lose your own at some point. Whether you're at the top, whether you're going through or whatever, they all do it. It happens. Very rarely does a fighter lose his own. You know, I think you're talking about like Marciano and Floyd Mayweather. Take them out of the equation. Look at all the great fighters. It happens. So yeah, just take that on board, and I look forward to following your career as well. Best of luck.
One last question for me, for those that don't know, the missus had a baby this week. How on earth are you getting training, and are you sleeping all right?
I say it's just, you know, obviously again it's like the fight for, give you an extra push during training. Obviously, you know, I'm on 4 hours sleep, I'm still training more than twice a day. I train twice a day and then go for a run of a night time, so really it's 3 times a day. Obviously, you know, it's dead off 5 minutes, like I said, like it ain't about the zero, it's your long-term goals, you know. And obviously everyone who wants to fight in the engine, grand, etc. Everyone wants to be there, that's what I'm saying. So obviously everyone's got that thrive, and I was just best luck for everyone there.
I wish I'd told him that, by the way, before that, because I had a kid at 19 as well. So my mum had a kid at 19, but that changed my pathway. It changed me as a person, moulded me as a person. It probably moulded me as a fighter, because I won a European title when I was 20 or something like that. But what I'm saying is that moment changed me as a person. And I recognise that it will change you as a person as well, because now you've got something to fight for. It's not about just fighting so you can go on holiday to fucking Tenerife or wherever with your mates and do this and go and have a piss up. Now you've got a reason, and that should drive you on even more. Best of luck and congratulations.
He's got Dad over there and all smiling, looks like happy granddad. And I spoke to your mum this morning as well, so it sounds like you can just put the baby with them and go and do what you want anyway, mate. So you looked after. Good to have you back, well done. We'll come down this end now. Hello Eilish, how are you?
Yeah, not too bad, thank you.
Great to have you on. So Eilish is going to be a debut. How are you feeling here amongst all these people? First press conference for you, is it?
Yeah, it's the first of many, hopefully. But yeah, it's a lot to take in. It's a lot of people here. But I'm happy to be on the show, and I'm happy to be making my debut.
Tell us a little bit about yourself. You've come down from Ipswich today, so we appreciate the journey down to A12. We know that you've come from the amateurs. I don't know much about you personally because it is your debut. You were due to be out on the show before, but your medical didn't come through, so we did the right thing and you're now back out. What can we expect from you on fight night?
What we're planning on is just a big debut, really putting my name out there. I didn't have a massive amateur background, came from the white collar scene, but this is definitely my opportunity to get my name out there and really show the world who Eilish is.
Eilish, what do you think about women's boxing and how it's evolved really over the last 2 or 3 years? You look back and you remember that monumental moment at the O2 Arena back in October 2022 when you had that all-women show, top right, Clarissa Shields, Savannah Marshall, 20,000 people packed out there. You know, I remember being in there looking around and thinking, I never thought I'd see this day, women's boxing, 20,000 people coming down on an all-women's card. I mean, that must be really inspirational for you to know that there's such a big interest. And do you think You know, if you look at Natasha Jonas, that fight that she had last week, and you look at that and you go like, I think they had 369,000 people tuned in to view that show. Shows there's an appetite for women's boxing as well. You know, even though it was controversial against Michaela Mayer and people, you know, I think that was good for women's boxing as well because it creates more of an interest. I mean, what's your take on that? I mean, you come into professional boxing probably at a better time than it could have ever been because it's recognised. I think that now women are putting these fights on. Although there's a smaller pool of women's boxers, when you look at the level of it at the top, and you think of the fights that you look over the history of it, like Kat Taylor, Amanda Serrano, that fight that we had the other day, they're all fight of the year contenders. You go back to Shaq Lee, when she Bridges. You look at these fights, even Katie Taylor versus Chantel Cameron as well. You look at them and you just go, they are absolute barnstormers, and there's a real appetite now for women's boxing. You couldn't have come in it at a better time.
See, that's the thing with women's boxing. People talk, whether it be because of a close fight like the Natasha Jonas. Obviously, it creates this controversy that gets people talking, and that's what I'm living for. I want that buzz. I want people to look at me and think the same. Like, oh, she can bang, she can fight, and that's what I'm here for. I'm here to stir the pool and be like putting my name out there. And I sat there watching the all-women's fight down at the O2 and thought, this is what we're doing it for.
That's what you're driving for, and that's a good thing. And you look at that and you go, I want to be there. So I mean, I don't want to be on the undercard. I want to be there. I want to be at the top. You know, you got Karis Arthur still coming through, Lauren Price coming through, and they're all flying the flag for women's boxing, which is a huge opportunity for you. Where do you see yourself? Because you know that the opportunities are going to come thick and fast, and they're going to come quick, because that's what's happened, because there's not a volume of women boxers around. Where do you see yourself in this? You know, in this. I mean, what weight are you looking competing at, and who have you got your eye on?
So we're currently at featherweight, but I'm going to get down to about super bantam.
You want Amanda Serrano, yeah?
I'll have whoever you put in front of me. I'm not going to say no. The pool isn't big enough to say no. The opportunities aren't going to come as widely available as if I was a man. No offence, but I've got to take what's in front of me. There's no saying no in this game. I'm here for a reason, and it's to put my name out there and to take over. I want in 5 years' time to people be like, that Eilish Tierney was decent. She's selling out arenas like Katie Taylor. I don't want to be the next Katie Taylor. I want to be better than Katie Taylor. I want to be better than the women that are already there. So I really just want to make a massive impact, and people be like, she's got a weird name, but we're going to remember it. And that's what I'm after.
So, Graham, are you? No. Okay, right, okay. So you know that opportunity will come. If you can fight, in your first fight, you can fight, them opportunities will come, and they will come thick and fast. You know that Sky Sports is heavily invested in women's boxing because they think it's really good, women's rights and all of that sort of stuff, equal rights, etc., and women getting the opportunities. So they're heavily invested in that. So broadcasters are, and you know that your opportunity is probably better than all the guys because they've got to fight to a certain level to get that opportunity, but yours could come a lot quicker. Are you ready for that? Like, mentally?
That's what we're here for. I'm not here just to make a big debut and then people forget about me. I'm here to make an impact. I'm trained hard, I'm mentally prepared for this more than anything, because the girls are coming up. I could very quickly just be replaced, and I'm not going to let that happen. So I'm here to make a statement on 24th of February.
Great attitude, and I wish you all the best for the future. I look forward to seeing you very soon then, because obviously after 2 or 3 fights there are going to be people talking about you, and when people talk, you're wanted, so best of luck.
Thank you so much.
I reckon Spencer's trying to tap you up for Sky Sports there already, so we've got to be careful. Matt's happy in the background, you can see the pound notes. Lovely to have you on the show, really, really nice. You conducted yourself really well there, so nice to have you. And we'll come down the end there, can't leave you but your last mate, so the knockout artist and another monster ticket seller, Jack Daly, so for anyone who wasn't aware, had his debut on our show with an explosive stoppage, sold a bundle of tickets. It's a delight to have you back out. You're with Francis, so I thought you'd end up in the Queensbury show, but I'm lucky enough to get you for the second time, so how are you, mate?
I'm very well, thank you. You know, the first one was so good, we have to do it again. I'm training well. I'm a bit tired right now from my hard week of training, but mentally I'm still fresh. I'm looking forward to putting on the showstopper and stealing the show.
Yeah, Jack, we had a little chat outside actually, didn't we, just previously to this, and telling me you're competing as a cruiserweight, you know, you're sparring with all the big names, which is so important, by the way. I've done that as an amateur, turning over sparring British world champions, etc., because that does develop you as a fighter, and they can be tough in sparring sessions, to be fair, but you know, you take a lot from that, and it makes you, like I say, it molds you as a person, as a fighter. I hear good things about you, you know, in the gyms and whatnot. I mean, what's your British cruiserweights right now, though, is absolutely flying, isn't it? You know, with the names that are around and, you know, where they're at. Isaac Chamberlain now doing really well. Lawrence Cody obviously still floating around, talking about him moving up to bridgerweight possibly. And then, you know, you've got the big boys like Chris Smith there and Richard Riakpo. Where do you see yourself fitting in with all this? Like, it's a good time to be a cruiserweight right now.
You know, it's a thriving division. I've shared the ring with Chris Smith, Isaac Chamberlain, many more. I've held my own. I'm very happy with spars, and I definitely see myself going the whole way. I will be picking up a world title one day. I'll pick up a few of the other titles on the way, but the world title is what I'm aiming for. That's where I will go.
Well, again, you know, that's what I say. This is the starting block, and like, you know, it's not where you start, but it's where you finish. And again, the advice to you would be to keep your feet on the ground. Just keep working really hard and trying to spar with the best sparring partners possible, because a lot of fighters make the mistake at the beginning of wanting to spar people that they can just beat up, and that doesn't take you to the place you need to go. You need to go to that dark place, and you need it really, really tough in there, in the sparring sessions. You know, that's where it is, and that's what develops you and, you know, creates your path for your future in the professional boxing ring. So I look forward to following your career as well. Best of luck with that. And yeah, just the same advice that I give all the other guys, you know, just get your feet on the ground, work hard. You only get out what you put in boxing. Cheats get found out. Leave no stone unturned, and then that will carry you on, because when you get into those later rounds as a fighter, doubts creep in. You go into your corner and you start doubting yourself, because you go to a place that's very, very tough. Do you know what I'm saying? And if you're doubting yourself, the only reason you doubt yourself is because you missed the fucking run, or you didn't do the spars, or you decided to do something instead of training. Leave no stone unturned, because cheats do get found out, and I think that's the advice I can pass on to you. You only get out what you get in. Work hard, and that'll carry you to the top. If you've got the talent, then you're there.
You know, I definitely leave no stone unturned, and I've been to places where I have to dig very deep. You know, I've had over 50 amateur fights. I've fought national champions from multiple countries. I have the experience and talent. I hate that word talent. You know, it's hard work, it's graft. I was never talented at the beginning. I've got this far on hard work, graft, and that's exactly what I'm going to carry on doing. Thank you.
Just want to add on that, for we all know picnic sport, but a couple of names that are big names, cruiserweights, about that I've spoken to. One name, I'm not obviously going to say it here, but when I mentioned your name, and I told you this on the phone, I was quite proud, but they were just like, wouldn't fight in. And these are people that are a lot further along, so clearly there is a bit of noise about you, mate, and we're looking forward to you putting on another statement and bringing them fans again, yeah? Well, that concludes it. Thanks everyone for coming out today. Tickets, if anyone still wants tickets, go to the Fighters Direct. I'm sure you can DM them and they'll sell them, and we look forward to a great night on the 24th. Thanks everyone.